say check again?
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Go to your cage. We are in a hotel lobby in Boulder, Colorado, on the North American continent in the United States of America, on planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy, somewhere in the universe. Yeah, I've given a lot of thought, many hours of thought. Stressed out about it, cried, went through the whole spectrum of emotion, and I'm starting to finally get some clarity. And I think at the end of the day, as much as the race hurts, and I haven't even looked at the results, quite frankly, because just to devote your life to something and then to have it go so far from expectation and just from what I felt like I was capable of, it just was really hard to stomach. And so I'm still recuperating from that, but I'm starting to get some clarity, and I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a really good experience for me, and it's going to force me to change truly, deeply, to the core of my being, and to become a better athlete and a more well-rounded athlete. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, and that's what this is all about. So I'm there. I'm ready to move forward. Yeah, you got to move forward. Of course, I'm kind of I don't know if ashamed of the performance is the right way to describe it, but I just feel like I let my sponsors down, my fans down, everyone down, and I know that at the end of the day, you aren't your races, you aren't your performances, you're something much deeper than that. But when you're doing it for a living and when you're devoting your life to it, easier said than done. So it's always a good experience to have a bad race and to see how you feel inside, because then you sort of see if your adaptation and your orientation to the races or to this whole life is proper. And yeah, I probably have developed a bit of, I guess maladaptation because I didn't feel that great. I probably am a little too attached to the performance side of things. On the other hand, I devoted a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, energy, and I feel like I made some big mistakes that probably could have been prevented, with a good advisor, and so that's probably more, I believe, with time now to really look at where was that kind of depression coming from. That was probably coming from just making the same mistakes again and that sort of thing. And so that's what we need is to fix those overarching errors, and so that they never happen again, and then hopefully you don't feel that way. Because at the end of the day, if I have a poor performance, but it's my own doing, but I did everything I could to be in good shape and to perform to the best of my ability, and it just isn't good enough to win, that's a totally different story, and I don't think I'll feel depressed about that. So I guess that's one of the take-homes.
Have you decided on a coach yet?
Yeah, so here's one of the big take-homes is I have a very polarized personality, and I usually, I'll learn something, or I'll think I discovered something, and then I'll go full steam in that direction. And let's take the bike, for instance. I didn't have a great bike in Oceanside, and so what do I say? I go polarized in the opposite direction. I say it's all garbage. The training's garbage, the bike's garbage, the position's garbage, everything needs to change. And that's just not the right way. That's my personality. That's kind of it's probably one of both the strengths and weaknesses, and it's a strength in that, if you direct that in the right way, that wholeheartedness into something can get you a long way quickly. On the other hand, it can also get you a long way in the wrong direction quickly and in trouble. And so that needs to be controlled. So I think that's the big take home for me is you need to follow the middle way. So every time you're making decisions, you say, where am I on the spectrum right now? And you say, okay, I'm on the extreme end. Let's pull it back a little bit because we've done this 100 times now. You're going too extreme in that direction. So that's something I learned about myself. I've probably learned that lesson 100 times now, but this time around I think it'll stick. And so in terms of a coach, once again, there's the lesson there is, should I go to a coach wholeheartedly and give all the reins over and, just submit or whatever you want to say. And I think that's going full spectrum to the other side when I've been full spectrum on self-coaching and I'm doing everything my way. So what's the middle ground? The middle ground is, I believe, to have a whole bunch of advisors, a whole bunch of, quite frankly, I think you need to have them on the payroll because I think there needs to be that sort of seriousness to the relationship. Can't just be sort of off the cuff, kind of call you when I need you type thing. It needs to be, people you're paying who are on your team, who have jobs to do, who are accountable, and I'm accountable to them. And so that's what I think we'll do, and that's what we are doing right now. So I have a friend of mine who has been on my team since the beginning, really, but we never really worked together in a professional capacity. And a lot of the things he said and the comments, I mean, he studied physiology, worked in the lab with a lot of great scientists, learned a lot, and then just has a lot of applied knowledge. Also has the most historical background on all my training. He's seen all the training I've done the last 8 years. So I think we're gonna have him come on the team in a more professional capacity to be both an advisor for Bike Run, but also periodization. What kind of training blocks are we creating? What are the intervals? What is everything looking like? Race season planning, all these big overarching things that I've sort of gotten myself into trouble not having input into. So I think that's what we're going to do in that regard. But the beauty as well is that, we're not hiring, let's say, a big name coach or whatever who might have many of the answers. And the beauty of not doing that is, well, when we don't know something, we can hire someone who can help us to advise us and become more knowledgeable on a topic. So the topic of nutrition, topic of periodization, topic of what types of intervals should we be doing. If we aren't confident in the knowledge, then the two of us and now hire someone else to come on board onto the team to give us some advice in those regards. So that I feel is sort of the middle way for me, because I have learned a lot of useful lessons. I think I've shown that when I do put together some good training and good nutrition, I can execute good bike run combos. So I don't want to tear it all apart because I do have a lot of good knowledge to give. So that's the bike run. That's what we'll go forward with. Swimming, I mean, I know nothing about it. I'm not even going to pretend like I know anything about it. Quite frankly, the only time I sort of got myself into like 120 per 100 kind of shape where I could hold that for reps and things decently well. But any better than that, I'd have to give credit to Jerry Rodriguez. And I started working with him in 2015. And once again, my personality, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm working with you, but I'm just kind of doing what I want. And so you can tell me things, and then if I like them, I'll do them. If not, I won't. I'll do them for as long as I want. And when I don't want to do them anymore, I won't do them. And pretty much everything Jerry said to me over the years, basically 6 months later, I message him back and say, you were right. And then also this year when I swam really well back in, February and March, where I was starting to like even have my own mind blown, I held 1/1300s in the meters pool for 1,200 meters. And then in the long course pool, swam the 1850, 1500, which is 1:15s. Those were all like experience that I never ever really believed that I could accomplish myself. And what was I doing? Well, I was following Jerry's program to a T, not deviating. But once again, my personality comes back, and I start to like feel confident that I've learned now, I know it now, and then I go off on my own, and basically my swimming deteriorated from then on. So what are we going to do in that regard? I mean, it's not completely set in stone. We're going to go visit Jerry in his club, Tower 26, sometime in the next little while. See if we can fit there. But I'm pretty confident we can. And if we make that decision, then we're probably gonna move to Greater Los Angeles, kind of Santa Monica area where Jerry's at, and basically have a coach, Jerry, and a couple other coaches on deck daily training in a triathlon swim specific program. I think from April through to November, there's open water component 3 times a week. That's been a big weakness of mine. I can swim decent in the pool, bad in the open water. So that's the swim component. And then once again, with my advisor, we're going to look at who are the professionals we should have on the team in areas that we aren't knowledgeable on. And so, one of the big overarching ones, especially for me currently with the swim weakness and not running super well, especially in Kona type conditions, well, the bike, you better damn well be able to bike well. And so we need to dial the bike in, we need to dial the position in, we need to dial everything in. And so we're going to begin working with Ivan Ogorman on that. He'll kind of come on as like the bike fit and related type coach, and will oversee that side of the thing. And so that's one component. And then we're going to find someone for nutrition who we can really rely on and trust. And so that's what I see us doing moving forward. It's just surrounding ourselves with great minds who we trust. That's the big piece for me. And then just, I think for me, is just one, letting go of the reins a little bit and just saying, you know what, I don't know everything. I know close to nothing, and I need help. I'm getting myself in trouble. I need help. And moving forward, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to find help in the areas that we're not very knowledgeable on, and try and grow and move forward from here with that. Basically, actually, we planned this quite a while ago, that we were going to go to Palm Springs for 2 months, basically. And, I love playing golf. It's like the most golf courses in any place, I think, in any city. So that was certainly part of the decision. And then me, I love the sun, and it's pretty much sunny every single day there. So that was another big piece of the decision. And then, our question was, are we going to fly there? And then we're like, pretty sick of leaving Chewy at home. And so this time we decided we'd try driving there. And so here we are, halfway there in Boulder, and kill two birds with one stone, get to Palm Springs, but also start the relationship with Ivan, start the bike fit process. So it's certainly given us a nice little stopping point on the 34-hour car ride that we've been embarking on.
You're going to be obviously on your way to Palm Springs. There's a race there. Are you going to race that?
Yeah, I wasn't going to sign up for anything because I wanted to see how Kona went, but I've done Arizona the last 3 years, and that was my original intention, was to do that race and get the sort of validation out of the way. But I can't have another race happen like Kona again. It was just too poor of a performance, and something definitely overarching was wrong in my mind. So we took Arizona off the list for the year, and we're going to be in Palm Springs anyway. So figured try and redeem ourselves a bit, maybe make some improvements in the bike position, make some dietary changes, and then get back to basics in training, and try and finish the season on a higher note than Kona ended.